Welcome to RoxTalks. Good to see y'all today. It's a little bit brighter, as you can see when I'm recording this, partially because we slept in, and Maisie, the newest addition to the family, did not want to sleep last night. Oh boy. So, anyhow, it's all good. Today we're going to we have to talk about Tom Sandoval. You think really? But he never ceases to amaze anyone, actually. And he made some comments in the New York Times that don't land very well. So we're going to talk about that because that is what people are going to be talking about around the cooler. And I'll give you a little puppy update as well, too. But I think that the Tom Sandoval thing will take most of the time. So if you don't want to hear about him, I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe? Okay. All right, cool. Also, newsletters coming out, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on in RoxTalks. We might actually do that first. So let me just dive into it. So the TikTok thing is happening. So I'm going to do a TikTok workshop beginning of March. I'll set the date today. I'm doing a lot of changes with RoxTalks. So you're going to see, if you're in the RoxTalks community, you're going to see a transition even with the newsletter. I might this week, maybe, send out the newsletter on a new platform. So I'm excited about that. And if you have any of the amazing things in the RoxTalks vault, I'm moving all of that. So I'm excited. I feel like it's like a spring cleaning purge happening. I'll keep you posted on all of those things. Stay tuned on that. I also want to just touch base. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who's just feeling really discouraged. She's in the direct selling space, and actually I talked to a couple of people yesterday. I was coaching some people too on all things direct selling, and she just was really down. And I turned to her and I said, listen, I don't know if anyone else has told you this, but you need to know that while I believe you take credit and blame for your productivity in life, you should always take credit here, right? The direct selling space is struggling big time. And if anyone is not telling you that, then they are lying to you. And I mean that from your corporate, from any team member, any of those things. So just know that if you want to know more about that, let me know, because I would love to have a candid conversation about that. And I might do that. I might pop that on the old podcast and do just a special one, because there's some reality that needs to be given. And, I love to give reality. Speaking of reality, let's talk about Tom Sandoval. So yesterday I was like on the gram and I see this post and I'm like, wait, this can't be true. I first saw it on Rachel Lindsay's Instagram and story, and she's like, we will be talking about it. She has a podcast. I'm like, wait, no. Let me read it to you and then we can talk about it. So this apparently, at first I just saw the quote and I didn't know where it came from, but the quote that has been swirling around said, this is from Tom Sandoval, from Vanderpump Rules, Sandoval cheated on his girlfriend of 9 years with her best friend, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He said, I witnessed the O.J. Simpson thing and George Floyd and all these big things, which is really weird to compare Sandoval to that, I think. But do you think in a weird way it's a little bit the same? So that was a quote that he made. And I read that and I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to read that again. Like, he's comparing Sandoval and cheating on his girlfriend of 9 years to O.J. Simpson, which, okay. Okay, and maybe that's a further remove, so I can just go, okay, that's odd, to like a brutal killing of, okay. And to George Floyd, which literally was the killing of a black man in plain sight in 2020. So I was just like, wow. So I'm looking at the comments. I go to the source of where it originally was, and I think I found the source, Bravo by Betches. And I'm seeing these comments, and these comments are going wild. But one of the things that the comments kept saying was, I can't believe you make this comment during Black History Month. I can't believe during Black History Month, how offensive. You're comparing, slinging your to the murdering of a black man. Are you kidding? During Black History Month, take it back, take it back, take it back. And I actually wrote on there something to the effect of, how about during any month? I actually get annoyed, and we can talk about him in a second, but is there this weird thing that says we have to be on like good manners during Black History Month? Like during Black History Month, you need to be nice to all black people? What is it? During Black History Month, I I struggle with that always because I'm like, be nice to me all the time. Don't just like save your pleasantries and your niceness to, oh, it's Black History Month, shortest month of the year, as Scott always tries to remind me. He's like, that's crap. Why is it? Anyway, be nice. You can't say certain things during Black History Month. No, you shouldn't. His comment shouldn't be said at any point in time. I mean, I guess that's the way he thinks, but his comment is inappropriate. Let me say it that way. Any time of the year. Truly. I mean, I'd argue that it would probably be more inappropriate like the day that George Floyd was murdered as opposed to Black History Month. Black History Month means nothing to the severity of what he said. Those are separate. And I think sometimes we always, like, as a society, decide to like qualify things in a silly way. No, it's bad that he said it, period. Like, it sucks, period. I will say he did apologize. So in fairness, I should read this. And he said, my intentions behind the comments I made to the New York Times Magazine were to explain the level of national media attention my affair received. The comparison was inappropriate and ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm incredibly sorry and embarrassed. Shocking to me, he didn't put something like, but, because that's like he's known for just like totally taking away what he says, negating it by saying, but blah, 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 but what about Ariana? She's doing well. I think you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't in our society. If you don't apologize, that doesn't go over well. If you do apologize, people are going to analyze your apology and pick it apart. Does that mean you don't apologize? No, it means you still apologize. You just need to know that when you apologize, you need to show that you're doing better. The apology is a start, and then you show that you're doing better. Do I sit there and go, okay, well, he apologized, it's okay? Listen, my level of expectations for this man that I really didn't even know till last year. I didn't watch Vanderpump Rules, maybe a couple episodes. I didn't know who Tom Sandoval was. I knew Lisa was. I didn't know who he was or any of these characters. So my total understanding of him pretty much came from March of last year. So almost 11 months, almost a year. I don't have high expectations for him. I did listen to him on the Nick Viall podcast, and I have no expectation. He's kind of sucks. And so am I surprised he made these comments? No, because I just think he's not a good person. Do I think that he needs a better publicist and that before he sits down with the New York Times and like insists that he not only gets interviewed, but also that they record it so there's audio? Do I think that he should have better people around him? Absolutely. But am I offended personally by it? Like, I'm going to say it make me offended by a cockroach. Like, cockroaches suck. So like, am I offended that like he just proves over and over again that he's not evolved and that he has a really weird interpretation of himself and what he did and how that compares to things. But see, on the Nick Viall podcast, he talked about it's like, I'm not a murderer. He basically said like murderers are bad. Like that is the stand, like it's murderer is what makes you like a bad person. And I would say that there are a lot of things that fall short of murder that make someone a bad person. Is he redeemable? Sure. Am I going to be holding my breath for it? No. Is it unfortunate that he made those comments? Oh, heck yes. But you see the brain, like the thought process behind it. He thinks that those things are comparative. And even if I try to go down the road of he's saying the national attention, which I'm sure someone gave him that statement to like, qualify what he said. It just shows he does not understand the magnitude and the gruesomeness and the tragedy that was the George Floyd murder if he'd even make those comments. I'm just saying what I'm saying. And it is interesting. You know, you cannot have a rise from the ashes moment, which I always think of Stefano DiMera because I used to watch Days of Our Lives, and he was the Phoenix. You can't have a rise from the ashes moment until you actually burn in the sense of like, until you hit rock bottom. And when I see a comment like that, it just tells me that guy has not hit rock bottom yet. He hasn't. I hope that he hits it soon so he can bounce back and learn, but he's not hit it yet. Because if he's running to the New York Times to make comments like that, And it was interesting is the interviewer tried to kind of like, okay, I think what you're meaning is this, but if you're going to double down on comments like that, you have no true understanding of life. And what kills me too is he said something about pop culture. It was in the article. It was like, I'm not up on pop culture. Lord in heaven above, there's something, and I like to talk about pop culture, but there's something about calling George Floyd a pop culture moment that just doesn't sit well with me. I think it's a little deeper than that, don't you? Ay caramba, like, what a mess. What a mess. I mean, some would say that Tom Sandoval is the gift that keeps on giving. Maybe that's true. It'll be interesting to see what happens from this, if his apology is enough. I don't know. I don't really care. But I do think it's good conversation. And I did share it on my story, although it disappeared. So I shared it again this morning. Because, man, like, are we serious? We're just stepping in it. You don't have enough money to, like, get some representation and some counseling and some awareness and all these. But I do want to go back to the fact that it happened during Black History Month means nothing. That is nothing to me. I mean, I'm just one Black person, but it doesn't matter. It could have happened any time of the year, and I would still be like, that sucks. It's not worse. It's not like, oh, it's a dagger. Be nice, be appropriate, be aware, have an understanding about the world and different people and diversity all year round. And we can all learn. I have lots to learn. We have all about others. We have a lot to learn, but don't just try and behave during a month that happens to be the month of history of a race or an ethnicity. Just my 2 cents. And I almost said Baylor. Love her. She's on the bed in the other room. Still a little annoyed with life because Maisie's here. Maisie's behind me in her little playpen, scurrying around. She decided at 10 a.m. last night that she just wanted to just run around. I was falling asleep and I opened my eyes and she's like darting to almost fall off the bed. Twice that happened. She wouldn't settle down. So I put her in her playpen and she just started whining. And listen, I'm the parent that will discipline. I'm like, okay, she can just whine until she settles herself down. Scott couldn't have it. He's like, ugh. So he got her and I'm like, okay, fine. Because I know he needed to get to bed. So anyhow, she did finally calm down and she's precious, but she was working my nerves at 10 p.m. I'm like, listen, biatch. Because that's what they are technically, right? Female dog. Stop. She's pure love and adorable. And I'll put some more content about her up so you can see it and all the things. But man, she was working me. Working me. All right. That's all for today. I appreciate you so much. Go be great. I'll see you tomorrow. Newsletter will come out today, tomorrow. And I think I'm going to go ahead and shimmy it to the next platform, the new platform. So that'll be, I think I'll make that change. So look out for it. I'll let you know tomorrow for sure whether it came out or whether it's coming out. I appreciate you. Go be great. Take care. Bye.